Welcome to the ModGolf podcast on our YouTube channel. I'm your host, Colin Weston. And today I just finished up a awesome conversation on our audio podcast with Devon Fox, who is the Senior Director of Digital Programs with the PGA Tour. And we dug deep into the innovation side of all the good things that they're doing there, and also the work that she does with the LGBTQ plus advocacy in golf, in sport, and in life. So yeah, great conversation there. We're going to continue that, but we're also going to have a little bit of fun here because I had the pleasure of meeting Devon in Belfast about 6 months ago in May at the Golf Business Technology Conference. And after a couple of drinks, I managed to not only sweet talk her into coming onto the show, but there's a bit of a bonus here as I pull her up. And I started talking about, being Canadian, talking about, maybe that's what I should say, talking about this weird, I don't know how we got the conversation. So these are thrills. This is a gum, and it actually says right on it with an exclamation mark, it still tastes like soap, which is, and you're like, this is just weird. So I've went to the trouble of sending across the country from Vancouver to Florida. There it is, a package that is still unopened here. So we're going to do the ModGolf equivalent of Hot Ones, if you're familiar with that show. They interview people while they have chicken wings, and they keep increasing the hotness of the pepper scale here while asking questions. I'm going to do this a little differently with different 1970s, 1980s candies. And I have this other one here that I had as a kid called bottle caps here. And these taste like, well, got root beer and cola and other weird flavors. And I also sent Devon one of these. So we're going to do something a little bit different, have some fun here on ModGolf. So let's start off here, Devon, while you explain to our viewers of what you do and why you do it at the PGA Tour. I'll have you also open that up. So I'm going to give you the screen while you do the reveal.
All right. Well, currently, are we talking older rolls or newer rolls?
Well, you got the stage here. You just go.
All right. So I currently am working at the PGA Tour. I've been here for roughly 10 years. And right now I am focused primarily on our execution and delivery of our strategic roadmaps in our digital and media and broadcast technology organizations. So what does that mean? It means that I lead a team of people, and we are project managers, we are program managers, we are scrum masters, we are QA analysts and engineers. And we make sure that all of the things that are on our strategic roadmap actually get done and delivered to our fans.
There we go. All right. So there we go. We got the thrills going here. Yeah, you may want to have some water handy for this. Now, what I loved you said before is like, I hate cilantro. So this is so you may wish you were actually chewing on cilantro after you have one of these. So
all right.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go first. I'll be honest. I haven't had a thrill. Well, I've had lots of thrills, but not this type of thrills in a couple of decades. So here, I'm gonna start with one. I'm not gonna even have a reaction. I'm gonna pop in my mouth.
All right.
Now I want you. There we go.
Thrills.
I want you to do the same.
Gum. All right. So they're little purple. They look like chiclets.
They kind of do. Yep. There we go.
Look like chiclets.
All right. Go for it.
Do I swallow or just chew?
No, you do. I would highly discourage you from swallowing this, because then you'll have that in your system forever.
It tastes like perfume. Oh,
It kind of does.
It's so gross. It's like perfume.
Yep. So
it tastes like how like not the good part of perfume, but like the weird, like alcoholic, chemically part of perfume.
Yeah, maybe like your grandma's perfume that's been sitting there for like 3 decades, and she hasn't gone through the whole one. Okay, let's move this to the other side of my mouth. Yeah, that's not great.
Should we go for another piece or?
Yeah, absolutely. So you got to put another piece in your mouth here. And chew on two.
See if we can improve the flavor by adding more.
You are very optimistic with that. Okay.
I like the crunch. The crunch on the outside is good. It's like a candy crunch, like kind of like a very thick M&M, but tastes bad.
It does taste bad. And as I mentioned to you, I'm always curious with how products end up on market. Like who in the 1970s sat around and suggested that I've got this great idea. No one is doing this. Let's create a gum, bring it to market and commercialize it that tastes like soap. And people went, that's amazing. Let's get a focus group going here and do some trials. And enough people, my eyes are starting to water here. That people said, let's go for it. So, okay, this is going to be my bridge and my segue. The fact that, oh, there we go. People want to buy some.
Everybody wants to get some Thrills gum. Here's the QR code for it.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question like this. So, obviously, with an idea like this that was transformative for the gum and candy industry, what, now that you've tried Thrills and it's still around, what do you think Thrills has applied to their go-to-market strategy that that now you can incorporate or have incorporated into go-to-market strategy for some of the innovations that you built out with the PGA Tour?
Well, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one for me. But what I could say is, let's apply this to golf. We're over here looking at challenges like speed of play and short form play and attention spans getting shorter and shorter. And so the idea that, you know, we need to evolve the product and sort of handle, make something relevant for compressed lifestyles that have very little time for content and like very long form things like 18 holes of golf or 4 rounds of golf on TV. That's a very big time commitment, I think, for a lot of people. So while I think we need to look at things like short form games and short form content, there's also something about sticking to the original and honoring the original and making sure that you're true to who you really are. So don't lose while you explore these new things, new short form content, new new forms of the game, new various ways of playing. Don't forget where you came from, really honor that. That's all I got for you.
I love the way you frame that there. Yes, that golf has that traditions and Thrills, for whatever reason, the longevity has been around for more than 50 years. So, well, let's flip it around. Let's say you are now a product developer for Thrills. You've been brought in and you want to engage with a new, younger audience. How would you improve Thrills, taking through the lens and the mindset that you apply at the PGA Tour? What would the new and improved Thrills look like?
Well,
oh, by the way, you got to put another piece in your mouth before you answer that question. I will too.
This piece of gum is getting pretty big in my mouth here.
So yeah, well,
we'll see how well I can
power through it. You'll be fine.
The flavor is completely gone, by the way, for the first 2 pieces, which is why we're re-upping here, because
100%.
Got to keep the soap flavor going for the podcast. All right. Piece number 3, flavor is reinvigorated in my mouth. Very terrible flavor. Honest product review. 1 out of 10 would not buy. Let's see. What can we share with Thrills? Lessons from the PGA Tour. Well, I'll take the opposite direction that I took with the last question. I think Thrills could benefit from looking at new and different ways of presenting their traditional product to younger audiences. So, for example, maybe instead of gum, maybe it's donuts with this flavoring on it as a sprinkling, or something that kids are into. I don't know what the kids eat these days, but it's Not soap flavored gum. I can tell you that. Maybe try to spend a little bit more time looking into the gag gift market and seeing if you can break into the gag gift market and build this flavoring into other products that could potentially be gag gifts. I don't know. That's all I got.
Well, I did put you on the spot there. Who knows? With that, once this gets out there, you may be getting a phone call from Thrills leadership to that. Maybe that's your next
donuts.
your next professional challenge. Once you're done with the PGA Tour in a couple more decades, perhaps there's a position waiting for you with Thrills.
Maybe they could turn it into a workout supplement that you add to your protein shake to make it taste like Thrills gum.
Ah, there you go. Maybe Thrills flavored creatine, perhaps, or something along that line. You never know. Okay, so I won't punish you anymore with the Thrills, and this is more for me than you. I'm taking this out of my mouth now. I'm not going to force you to eat all. What is there? 12 pieces in this or whatever. So there you go. You can take that to the office, share it with the people that you hate at the PGA Tour, and tell them this is really delicious. So,
I was thinking back to our. I was thinking back to our visit, and I think the reason why Thrills came up is because I was telling you about my coworker Wendy, who's from Canada, and whenever she comes back from Canada, she always brings me lots of Cadbury chocolates. She always brings me lots of like good treats and like all dressed chips and things like that, because the chocolate here is really gross and waxy and just sugar. But I love Canadian chocolates, so she always brings me tons of them home. And that was when you were like, "Oh, Thrills gum," because it's a sugary candy treat. Like,
there we go. Your memory is way better than mine. That was the conversation that we had there. Yes, I was going to send you the all dressed chips. Like, few people in the U.S. know what an all dressed chip is.
Oh, good.
I could have sent you. I was going to send you a pack of those, but you've already had them, and also I have a feeling
you have
couriering that across the country, it would have been just crumbs and dust by the time it arrived at your doorstep. So I didn't send you that, but I did send you this other fine confectionery bottle cap. So once again, one that from my childhood. It's amazing I don't have cancer of the everything from eating these way too much. So yes, they boast that they've got root beer, cherry, grape, cola, and orange flavor. So yeah, we got the worst out of the way with the Thrills first. These are not gross. These are just kind of a little bit weird. But as we can see here, it looks like maybe something that people are distributing at a rave that you kind of suspect and you wonder what's actually in these. But full disclosure for the audience, these are not hallucinogenic at all. We're just happy people, so the smiles you see on our face just come all natural here on a Tuesday. So
they're very powdery.
They are. So let me try one.
All right, so this is what a bottle cap looks like in Kitwell.
Yeah.
Well, looks kind of like a Smartie.
I remember just as a kid, I have no patience. I would chew them. That's just a pure sugar hit. Basically, you're just mainlining sugar. I think there's sugar and coloring, and that's all there is with the bottle caps. So
it's kind of like a sugary, almost effervescent version of like. Do you remember Necco mints?
I've heard of them. I've never had those. So do tell. What's going on with those?
They're also circular.
Okay.
They are like more bigger, like coin shaped and flat, and they're kind of the same type of texture. They're a little bit powdery, but they're just, I don't know, like this, but less effervescent. These have almost like a soda like bubbly quality to them.
Right. Well, that's what they were going for there. They managed to nail that over the years. Well, there really wasn't any other product like this out there, other candies. So they certainly embraced, say, a lot of the work that I do in Blue Ocean strategy with innovations as far as unlocking new customers and not competing with everything else in the market with another chocolate bar. So between Thrills and bottle caps, these are definitely appealing to perhaps a fringe market, but definitely.
I think these are good. I would eat these. I think I'm curious how they get the they're obviously not bubbly, but there's something in them that gives them almost a bubbly like quality when you chew into them.
Yes.
Oh, I wonder how they do that. What's the science behind it? Do you know?
I don't know. I guess that'll have to be another podcast episode that
Yeah.
we do the behind the scenes of what's going on with thrills and especially with bottle caps here.
Also, funny note, these are a product of Mexico.
There we go.
So Canadian bottle caps.
They arrived at your Floridian doorstep, from Mexico via Canada and then down again. So they're well traveled. So with the bottle caps, I find this interesting that as a kid, these were perfect because this is just a pure sugar hit. Whereas an adult now, I probably a little bit too sweet for me. But this is back when you're a little kid. Like sugar is all you had. You didn't have. There was no alcohol, drugs, gambling, or sex yet. So as far as that was really your only pleasure that you had as a kid. That's why you gravitated towards sugar so hard as a kid. That's my theory anyway. There we go.
We used to drive our bikes to the store, which was like several miles away.
So did we.
We would ride our bikes. We would get all of our little change, and we would buy as much candy as we could possibly buy with the money that we had in our pockets. And then we would sit outside the CVS and eat all of the candy and then ride our bikes home. And this was like an all-day affair.
Love it.
The orange ones are quite tasty.
I'll have an orange one here myself. Mm-hmm. There we go.
I'm a big fan of the orange ones.
So by the way, viewers, we did talk a lot about the PGA Tour and the innovations that are going on over there. So I highly recommend that you listen to the podcast. I'll keep the link in the description down below because we just seem to be doing candy reviews here of how awful these things are. So, okay, so you gave Thrills a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
Not recommended. So what will you give bottle caps? What's your honest review?
I will give bottle caps a 6.75 out of 10. I like the texture. I don't love the chalkiness, but I do like the flavors that they actually kind of taste a little bit like soda. So yeah, that's my review of bottle caps. And also there are entirely too many in this box.
Oh, I need a full army of children to eat these.
This box will last me weeks.
Well, you can always take it into the office. Say your weird Canadian friend sent these to you, and they won't kill you. And go from there. Okay, well, on the podcast, we did talk about the other professional positions that you've held with Nike and also with NASCAR. But one I wanted to talk to you about, I'm going to go on the Wayback Machine. This is more than 20 years ago, I think, when you first came out of college. And this is tied into what you've learned with customer experience and tying that into fan experience. So you were a bank teller for a year at Wells Fargo, and I'm sure you saw everything from the most grumpy, hard to deal with customers and everything in between. So that year of being at the front lines as a bank teller, what did you learn at Wells Fargo that has helped inform you that you've taken forward a couple of decades later with the work that you do with the PGA Tour?
This is an easy one. Trust your customers. So I will tell you the story that goes along with this. So when I worked at this bank and I was a teller, on Fridays, I was the drive-through teller. And so I worked in the drive-through all day and took all the people that came through. And when you're in the drive-through, you're separated and kind of locked off from the rest of the tellers who are in the branch with you, because there's a lock on the door, so people can't just like walk into the the room there. Anyway, I had this one customer who would come through every Friday, and every Friday he got a paper check from his company. And this, a long time ago, people still had paper checks.
Right.
I'm dating myself here. But every week he would cash his paper check. And every week I would charge him $4.50 to cash his check, because he was so concerned about maintaining an account. He did not want to have an account. I was like, if you would just open an account, you don't even need a balance. You just $0. You don't even have to keep a balance. Right. I would charge you the $4.50. And he's like, I would rather pay the $4.50. I don't need the government or your bank knowing what I do with my money, when I do with it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And every week he brought with him and gave to me a gallon Ziploc size bag full of homemade horseradish. And every week I would take that bag out of the thing and I would immediately put it in the trash because I was like, this guy's crazy. Psycho guy. This person is crazy. And on my last day at the bank, before I started moving into a different role, I was in the same spot I was always at every Friday, which was the drive-through teller spot. And he put his bag in along with his check and his $4.50. And for some reason, I don't know why I did it, I put the bag on my desk instead of in the trash can.
Okay.
And, after he left, I dipped my finger in it and I tried it. And it was the best horseradish I have ever had in my entire life. And for months, I had been throwing away delicious horseradish that I could have been putting on my roast beef sandwiches or on whatever I was eating. And what I learned was to trust your customers.
Trust your customers. Well, if you would have pulled up, and offered you some thrills, that would have been a different situation. You would have been all in, no problem. I'm sure if I showed up there, not knowing me as a random, and like the trust I would have cultivated by offering you this, like, would have been off the charts.
At least this
off
is
the charts.
pre-packaged, right? Like, you didn't personally make these candies.
Or did I?
Or did you? I don't know. Maybe you are the mastermind behind Thrills.
Yes.
But
you're on to me.
The idea that this person who was like, a little bit crazy, like wouldn't maintain it, like put his, cash under his bed and like wouldn't maintain an account because he didn't want the government to see his money. But he still was a customer. He was paying us $4.50 every week. So we were profiting off of this person cashing their checks. He was a customer. But yeah, he made this delicious horseradish every week. And every week I was like, no, thanks, trash can.
And it didn't kill you. You're still here to tell the story. So there you go. Trust the customer.
I regret that choice. It was a huge mistake to throw away that horseradish.
It sounds like it gave you so much. How much horseradish did you really need, though?
I mean, so the gallon-sized bags, it was only like in the bottom of it. It wasn't like a full gallon-sized bag. It was just, the bottom section of it. But too much for a sandwich bag.
But it sounds like that's like bottle caps. There's too many. Yeah, too much. More than one needs. There we go. Well, I'm not going to force you to eat any more thrills. Oh, by the way, I did have one of the root beer ones.
I can't tell the difference between the root beer and the cola. There's like
it's a bit of a tricky game there. You just have to take that leap of faith. You have to trust the bottle cap, just like you trust the customer.
Let's do this. So there's a red one, there's an orange one, there's a cream, like a khaki colored one, and like what looks maybe like purple. Maybe?
Yeah, the purple's the grape, reddish is the cherry, orange, obviously the orange. But yeah, the root beer and the cola are they're fluid.
Are they the same color? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Or am I getting this wrong?
See, there's a bit of ambiguity there.
I got it. All right. I have all the colors now.
There we go.
Okay, so we have the red.
We do, which is probably the grape.
The orange. We have the grape purple.
Yes.
We have, and I can't tell the difference between, we have like a brown and a khaki one, and I don't know which one's cola and which one is root beer.
See, they're just being very contemporary. They're very soda fluid. Is that a thing? Could I say that?
Yeah, it's just like gender. It's a spectrum.
There we go. Go. See? So
okay, the dark one is the root beer.
Yes.
No, the light one is the root beer. The light one. The khaki colored one is the root beer, and the darker brown one is the cola. I got
there we go. Okay, well, I'm going to end this here because I think if we fill each other up with more sugar, this is just going to get bonkers. We're going to be like little kids just talking a million miles an hour, bouncing off the furniture here. So
it's already happening.
So why don't we leave it at that? So this has been a unique experience here. So perhaps this will be the first of many times that I'll do the bit with Thrills, the
Thrills.
ModGolf Thrills edition, and you've been my guinea pig, and I thank you for trusting me, just like you eventually trusted Horseradish guy at the drive up teller booth there.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me and for sending me these delightful candies in the mail.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as I mentioned, yeah, the podcast, we had a much more serious conversation there, but we had a little bit of fun here, and as we do here, just want to mention, if I can click on this to make it all happen here. Doesn't seem like it's working here. It doesn't look like I'm trying here. Oh, it's not popping up. But hey, if you like what we're doing here, why don't you subscribe to the ModGolf YouTube channel? If you've got other ridiculously awful candies out there that you want us to try while we're having a conversation on ModGolf, let us know, because this could be the first of many. So with that, I think I need to actually eat some real food now after having candy for breakfast here, because I'm in Vancouver. And Devon Fox, why don't we leave it at that? Thank you again for joining me, not only on the ModGolf YouTube channel, but also on the podcast earlier. It's great seeing you.
It has been my pleasure. Thank you so much, Colin.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.